In this video, we revisit 6 chilling true crime cases, some solved, some still hauntingly unsolved. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's dive into the darker side of reality. It's May 14th, 2008. 19-year-old Brandon Swanson is driving home from a college party in Minnesota, but he never makes it. Around 2 a.m., Brandon's car slips off a gravel road into a ditch. He's unhurt and calls his parents for help. They stay on the phone for 47 minutes as he tries to guide them to where he thinks he is. He says he can see the lights of a nearby town and begins walking toward them. His dad drives around, still on the call, until Brandon suddenly says, "Oh shit!" Then the line goes dead. Searchers later find his car, his footprint, and then nothing. No trace, no phone, no body. One step too far into the dark, and Brandon Swanson was gone forever. It's December 1st, 2018. 22-year-old Grace Millane from Essex is backpacking through New Zealand, celebrating her graduation and the adventure of a lifetime. She messages her family daily, until one day, the messages stop. CCTV shows Grace walking into a hotel in Auckland with a man she met on Tinder. They laugh, they kiss, they head up to his room. But Grace never walks back out. When she doesn't contact her parents on her birthday, panic spreads across the world. The police launch a search, while the man she was last seen with calmly tells officers they had consensual sex, and she simply left. But detectives check the hotel's security footage again. They see the man wheeling out a large suitcase struggling under its weight, before taking a taxi toward a remote wooded area. The next day, police trace the man's route using cell tower data. They find the suitcase buried in a shallow grave outside Auckland. Inside lies the body of Grace Millane. The man, 26-year-old Jesse Kempson, is arrested and charged with murder. During trial, he claims the death was an accident during rough sex. But digital evidence tells another story. Searches on his phone like "The Hottest Fire," "Waitakere Ranges," and "Time to Decompose." Grace's death sparks international outrage. Women protest with signs reading "Her name was Grace," a cry against the way victims are blamed even in death. Kempson is found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. Grace's parents never got to see her return home, but her name became a movement, a reminder that violence hides behind charm, and sometimes a dating app swipe. It's July 1st, 2000. 8-year-old Sarah Payne is playing in a field near her grandparents' home in West Sussex, laughing with her brothers and sister. When the other children turn around, Sarah is gone. Police launch one of the largest missing person searches in British history. Hundreds of volunteers scour fields, woodlands, rivers. Her parents appear on national TV pleading, "Bring our little girl home." Days turn to weeks. Then, a shoe, a child's shoe, is found in a lane miles away. DNA confirms it's Sarah's. 8 days later, her body is discovered in a shallow grave in West Sussex countryside, and somewhere out there, her killer is still walking free. Detectives turn to CCTV, vehicle sightings, and a familiar name emerges: Roy Whiting, a convicted sex offender living nearby. His white van had been seen near the field that night. When forensics swab the interior, they find a single strand of blonde hair, Sarah's. Whiting denies everything, but the evidence builds. Fibers from his van match her clothes, and tire tracks link directly to the burial site. In 2001, Roy Whiting is found guilty of Sarah's abduction and murder. He's sentenced to life in prison, a sentence that sparks the creation of Sarah's Law, giving parents the right to know if someone with access to their children has a history of child abuse. A tragedy, but one that changed Britain forever. April 26, 1999. Television presenter Jill Dando, one of Britain's most beloved broadcasters, is shot dead on her doorstep in Fulham, London. It's broad daylight, a single bullet to the head. The killer vanishes within seconds. There are no witnesses, no CCTV, no clear motive. Her murder sends shockwaves through the nation. Jill wasn't just famous, she was trusted. The the face of BBC Crime Watch, a show that helped catch real criminals. Was it revenge? A hit? A stalker? Theories flood in, from jealous ex-lovers to international crime rings she'd exposed on TV. Then, police make an arrest, a local man named Barry George living nearby. But nothing about him quite fits. Barry George is convicted in 2001, based on a single speck of gun residue found in his coat pocket. Years later, that evidence is questioned DNA tests, forensics, all reveal contamination. In 2008, after 7 years behind bars, Barry George is acquitted. So who killed Jill Dando? Some believe it was a professional hit tied to her Crime Watch investigations. Others think it was a random act of violence. 25 years later, her killer has never been found, and the case remains one of the UK's greatest unsolved mysteries. It's July 18, 2018. 20-year-old college student Molly Tibbetts laces up her running shoes in the small town of Brooklyn, Iowa. She heads out for her usual jog through quiet neighborhood streets. And it's the last time anyone sees her alive. When she doesn't show up for work the next morning, panic spreads. Police begin a massive search. Drones, K9 units, farmers checking every inch of cornfield. For weeks, the case consumes the entire state. Then investigators find something. A single piece of CCTV footage. A dark Chevy Malibu slowly following Molly as she runs the driver. A man no one expected. Police track down the owner, Cristian Bahena Rivera, a quiet farm worker living just miles away. During questioning, his calm voice begins to crack. He admits he approached Molly. She told him to leave her alone, and everything after that becomes a chilling blur. Rivera leads investigators to a remote cornfield. There, after more than a month missing, they find Molly's body hidden between the rows. In 2021, Rivera is found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. A community that searched endlessly for her finally gets justice, but not the ending they prayed for. September 2nd, 2022. It's 4 a.m. in Memphis, Tennessee. 34-year-old teacher Liza Fletcher starts her regular morning jog, running through the quiet streets before sunrise, but a dark SUV pulls up beside her. A man jumps out, and in seconds she's forced inside. When Liza doesn't return home, her husband reports her missing. Police find her smashed phone and water bottle near a university campus. CCTV tells the rest. A woman being dragged into a vehicle against her will. The city goes on high alert, and detectives already have a suspect. The vehicle matches one tied to Cleotha Abston, a man with a long history of violent kidnapping. When SWAT storms his home, they find Liza's running shorts in a dumpster and evidence in his car that leaves no doubt. 3 days after her disappearance, Liza's body is discovered behind an abandoned building. The community mourns a woman known for her kindness, her faith, her devotion as a mother and teacher. Abston is arrested and charged with first-degree murder, especially aggravated kidnapping and other counts. Another predator taken off the streets, but at a devastating cost.